James Carpenter with Country Living. Welcome to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. Good morning everyone. It's Sunday morning. We're going to start the jacking up of the building. In the last video you seen where we got the 6x6 post concreted in, definitely below the frost line here in Ohio. We went down 40 some inches and put the bags of concrete in there. Today we'll top the hole off with some gravel. We'll take these supports down that's holding the beams up while the concrete cured, and then once we get those down we're going to start basically using those two jacks and see if we can get this building raised up a little bit and see how it's going to handle the process. Okay, I'm putting gravel, chopping off those holes with gravel while Chad removes some of the bracing from the 6x6 beams to the building. Now that building you see in the background, that pole barn, that shipping container pole barn, there are a few videos on that if you want to go to my channel and look back in time. You can see how myself, and yeah, pretty much myself, and I did have a helper so I can't take all credit. We remodeled that pole barn and added that shipping container. Now those jacks, they're like you put in the basement of a home. We're using those to support the building. See, Chad's jacking it up, and then well, right now I'm adjusting the length, and we're using those poles as supports as we jack the building, just as a precautionary measure in case the jack would kick out or something along those lines. I did some research on YouTube about pouring concrete over top of concrete, because we got two choices. We can go in here and either saw cut this concrete, break it up, and use the tractor to get the hunks out, or we can pour over top of it. And it appears that you can pour over top of concrete, but I thought what I would do is put a 2-inch layer of gravel over top of the concrete and then install a new vapor barrier before the pour, and that way if the old concrete starts shifting around or doing anything crazy, I've got that little bit of wiggle room between the old concrete and the new concrete. Now if anybody out there has any suggestions or has dealt with pouring concrete over concrete, by all means I'd appreciate comments from you as to whether or not that's a good or bad idea, because it's still not too late to get that concrete out of there. Okay, so we put some extra jacks under here. We got that's a 30-ton jack there lifting. Then we got these pole jacks to support the weight just in case that jack kicks out, and to help support the building. We did go underneath each and every beam and we put in a block to help carry the load as we go up. We did the same thing over here, and actually we did it on every post. So that the reasoning behind that is when they built this is kind of like tongue and groove, and these two pegs basically go through this, and that's everything's coming down on basically like probably a 4 by 2.5 inch peg post coming out of there with two pegs in it. So this will help support that weight. And then on the outside of the building, we hooked to this big oak tree with a strap, and we tied the strap in to a beam on the building here. And then each corner we did the same thing. We put a strap going down to the base of that 6x6 that we just put in yesterday. And over here we have another strap that's tied off to the dumpster. So our thought pattern is the straps will help support the building if it decides it wants to start leaning towards the side that it's already leaning to as we jack it up. All right, this is a view from out in the yard looking at the building we're working on. We've got the pole barn my dad and I built back in '73, the new shipping container, and that well is part of the old farm. It's a hand dug well. I rehabbed the top of that to make it look a lot nicer. But as we walk up on the building, as you can see, it's looking a lot more plumb than it did when we started the project. We've jacked it so far probably 10 inches or better. Walk around the outside here and get out of this wind. Okay, since the camera was on last, we did some cross bracing. We were hearing a lot of popping, but then at one point we heard a major pop. And well, you can't see it anymore. We put this 2x6 on here, but behind this 2x6 the oak beam started to crack, so we added just a little bit more supports. So I think you might remember in one of the other videos, right about here, I stood up and I was showing you how my head was actually up here between the floor joists, and now I can walk underneath it. We're gonna go probably another foot and a half up. As you can see how the oak beam was just rotting off and sinking into the ground. And as we're lifting the building, this beam here came up out of the ground, and you can see the edge of the wood. You can almost see the dirt behind it, how much we've raised it up. And this beam's even coming up as the building goes up. Now we do have a level on here. We're getting really close to having this thing level, and once we get it level, we need to get it plumb, and then once we get it plumb, we need to really put some bracing on it. to keep it square while we get a footer dug and some kind of foundation underneath it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be many more to come. Thank you for watching.